Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Misa, and you should definitely subscribe. We concentrate on complexion products, dry skin, and of course, the ultimate favorite, makeup brushes. But today, I decided I wanted to do my very first reaction / give me all the tips video, which is I'm going to be following one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Wynn, and she recently did a video about a month ago. It's her current foundation routine, which we love foundation here, and she's like the foundation queen. If you're interested to see exactly what happens with this video, then go ahead and keep on watching.
All right, folks, today is an exciting Foundation Friday because we've got a routine video. These don't come around very often because it takes me a long time to nail down a foundation routine that I feel like is incredible on my skin. My skin is super finicky, textured, creasy. A lot of products just don't work out for me. So when I have a foundation routine and I'm sharing it with you, it's a good one for me. Everyone's skin is different. I always say this, but products work differently for different people.
Amen to that. Different products work different on different people. Is that what she said? That's what she said. I've been following Taylor for, I think she had like 200k subscribers, shared how foundation worked on her skin, and honestly I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm so obsessed with foundation. She's just so fun to follow. She's down to earth, consistent, open, seriously goals.
So the look I'm doing today is full coverage, super long lasting, doesn't crease badly on me, and has a beautiful skin-like satin finish, which is very hard to achieve on my skin. This is gonna be my go-to once we go back out into the world, hopefully soon. Typically in all of my foundation routine videos, it's not just about the foundation. This video, I'm starting with the skin prep. We're going through all of the steps. So if I want that glass skin kind of look, which I usually do, Paulas Choice BHA not only is an awesome skincare product to actually change the texture of your skin, but when you apply it in the morning, it does something magical underneath foundation. It really does give you that like glass skin, smooth kind of look throughout the day as well. And it actually makes a difference, and it's skincare, so it's doing something good for you as well. It's a chemical exfoliant. This is one of my holy grail skincare products. I've used this for years now.
Well, I clearly am not going to have all the products she has. I'll be very surprised if I even have anything that she's using, but I have been wanting to try the Paulas Choice exfoliant. Right now I've been using the Ordinary Niacinamide, which is a mild exfoliant, and I actually used it last night, so I'm gonna say that kind of counts.
Both glowy SPFs that I love the Super Goop Glow Screen. That one's awesome for underneath makeup. It is extremely glowy though, so just an FYI, that one is extreme glowy, like next level glow. The one that I've been using is the Glossier Invisible Shield. This one's SPF 35. I've been loving this because it literally just feels like a serum. It's very moisturizing, does not feel like an SPF whatsoever. It's completely invisible, no white cast, and it leaves my skin with a really pretty glow, and it's a really nice base for makeup.
I do have the glow, not the glow screen. I have the Super Goop, but not the glow version. I've been meaning to get that at some point, but I do have the Tatcha Silken SPF. This is more of a creamy formula. I had no idea that Glossier actually had an SPF, a serum-like SPF. That's something I definitely am curious to try it out. It's too bad I just missed their 20% off.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with primer, and the primer I have been loving is from the drugstore. It's the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. This is basically an exact dupe for, wait, we just have to rewind. I think that's the first time I've ever said mint melt on the first try. You know what, that was great. This is basically an exact dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. However, this one smells so much better, is cheaper, it has the exact same kind of feel to it. It's very tacky, so if you get this and you're expecting like a smoothing silicone primer, that's not what this is. It's a very, very sticky, very tacky, gripping kind of primer.
Her and I are totally on the same page because guess what? I have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. For me, I believe a very close dupe is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, which this is actually, you can buy this at Ulta now. It used to not be available at Ulta, and now it is. It's available, so you can get it. Now I'm curious to try that green one.
It also adds a glow, and you might be thinking, your skin is extremely glowy. Why are you adding more glow? Just trust the process, okay? And it does say wait 30 seconds before applying makeup. I definitely give it at least 30 seconds before going in with my next step, which is actually another primer, which I'll tell you about while we're waiting for this to soak in. So then I go in with a blurring primer, but only on certain parts of my face. So this is the Hailey's Beauty Refine Prime Foundation Primer. This is one of my favorite blurring primers. Hailey's Beauty does awesome sales, by the way, so most of their products you can get for like 10 bucks.
Whoa. Okay, I thought for sure after this step we were just gonna go straight in with the foundation, but she's saying that we actually need to go in with another primer, and she recommends a blurring primer. Do I even have a blurring primer? Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this step.
Lately, I don't know if it's time for some Botox or what, folks, but also I've been using this like head device, migraine device thing, and it like friggin' makes your skin on your forehead like clench up because it's doing something with the nerves. So it's literally pulling all my skin together for an hour straight. So
she has like the prettiest forehead, like zero line. Her skin always looks great. I think we're about the same age. I personally have never had Botox before. I'm terrified of needles, terrified.
Okay, star of the show, the foundation. So I've raved about this. This was in my best foundations of 2020 video. I also have a 30-minute long 3 different day review on this foundation. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation, and basically this is one of my favorite foundations. It lasts incredible, it has full coverage, but through lots of trial and error I found that there's a really specific way on my skin that this looks amazing. If I apply it with a brush, if I apply it with fingers, anything else, it just doesn't work on my skin. It looks like super cakey, but the way I'm going to show you today, it looks incredible. So if you've tried this foundation and you applied it in the same way that you always apply your other foundations, whip this bad boy out again, try it in this way or try it in other ways, but this is such an incredible formula that hopefully you can figure out a way to apply it for your skin, because it's one of the most long-lasting, crease-proof, full coverage foundations that I have ever found.
I have this foundation. I purchased it. My shade is Santa Fe medium, and guess what? It was way too light for me. Like, I can't even tell you how light it is. So I went to return it, missed the deadline, so I'm now stuck with this foundation that I haven't really been able to give a good chance because I've always had to mix it with everything else. And so my thought process is I'm going to use it, but I'm also going to mix it with another matte foundation that I am head over heels about, and that's the Born This Way matte.
My sponge is dirty, okay? I should have washed this last night. I did not, but the best way I've found to apply this is with a dry sponge. The only sponge I like to use dry is the Kokie Cosmetics sponge.
What in the world? I even dampened this up. I'm like, she's probably gonna use a sponge today, but I need to use a dry sponge? What in the world? Wow, okay, a dry sponge. This is interesting. I don't know how it's gonna go.
So I actually like to just put it directly on my sponge. Here's an up close of my dirty sponge for you, but I just want to show you exactly how much I use here. So we are gonna use that much. I'm just gonna start on this side of my face. And I like to start on the areas where I need the most coverage, which is right on my cheeks, and also where I crease the least, because you're gonna wanna apply less product where you crease most. And for me, that's around my mouth, around my upper lip, right here. So now I'm taking all the rest of the product and just blending up. And when I wear this, sometimes I don't even feel like I need concealer, honestly. Like, I can just bring this right underneath my eye, and sometimes I won't even put on concealer. This is such a matte finish. This foundation is fully matte, which is why I like to kind of layer finishes. With that Haley's primer around my nose.
This foundation to apply well with a dry sponge at all. Like, you just don't think about that. And when I'm putting it on, a little of it is going a long way, and the blurring factor is just, it's kind of insane.
So you can see on my forehead, the glow is still coming through, which I love. So I've been switching between these two concealers, but this one I've been reaching for a lot lately. It's the Collab Porcelain 01 concealer. I really love this concealer, and it's been doing pretty well for me on my creasing. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this because I brought that foundation right under my eyes, and that gave me some coverage. I don't need a ton of concealer. I don't like the whole TikTok kind of trend or whatever of bringing it out here, because I get a lot of creasing out here in like my smile kind of lines. So if I add concealer out there, it's just more creasing for me. So I like to keep my concealer in closer where I need to kind of brighten it up. I like to leave that on there for about 30 seconds to a minute just to give it the most coverage possible. So once that kind of sets down and dries down a bit, I'm gonna go in and blend out. This one's also a great shade for me. It's like the perfect amount of brightness.
Wow, I guess that's the only place that we're actually applying concealer today. That's shocking. I usually we usually put it everywhere, but all right.
So first I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Powder. I've been loving this stuff for setting certain parts of my liquid foundation. I don't like using this just as a powder foundation. I use the shade 130 True Beige, which is a pretty close shade match. It's a little bit dark, but the undertone is spot on. So I only like to set right here because I'm going to be blending product like bronzer, blush, everything. And this does add a little bit of coverage too, which I like, because this area I like to add a little bit more where my like redness and scarring and stuff is. As you can see, the shade is a little bit dark. I'm only applying it in the areas that I would normally kind of add warmth to my face anyway. Now I'm gonna set my under eyes. I'll either use CoverGirl Clean Fresh. Today I'm gonna use the Urban Decay. This one's been working out really well for me for my under eyes. I also love this as a face powder, by the way.
For a loose powder, I have one of two. I can use the Kosas Feathery Cloud Set or the Fenty Beauty Loose. I'm gonna use the Kosas just because I feel like the Fenty does have just like this little bit of tint to it. I don't want it sticking too much.
But I've just been adding like a way smaller amount than usual. And it's been, I don't know, it's been working out well for me. My under eyes crease, okay? If you have lines, they're gonna crease, but my under eyes, no matter what I do, they do crease. So for me, it's just about brightening it up, getting the least amount of creasing as possible, and having that kind of smooth.
All right, while she did her brows, I did mine. I used the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer. Love this stuff. It's drugstore. It's amazing. I love it. And then the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, which is one of the best brow waxes ever on Earth, on planet Earth.
So next up, I go in with bronzer. My holy grail bronzer is the Maybelline City Bronzer. If you have fair skin and you have not tried this, you 1000% need to. It's the best bronzer shade I've found for fair skin in the shade 100. Perfect kind of like sun-kissed tan color.
So I actually use the Maybelline City Bronzer in this shade 200 because I obviously don't have super fair skin, but this is a great drugstore bronzer, one of my favorites. I think I used this all the time last year. So I'm going to use the Morphe M523.
This is the ColourPop F29. Been really liking this. I think you can only get it in a set though. So because I have that powder down, makes it really easy to blend over top. So I like to just add it really close to my hairline. Just adds a little bit of warmth. Okay, one of my favorite products of all time, Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in 10 Be My Highlight. And this is one of the most glow from within, natural looking highlighters ever. If you have textured skin, you need this.
I don't have that. I need to just do a haul on all these drugstore products she's using. I do have the Revlon Skin Lights for highlighter, so that's what I'll be using.
$. It is beautiful. It reminds me of a MAC blush, but it's in the shade Be Fitting by Essence. It is fully matte, so because I have a lot of glow going on again, I like to kind of bring it back, switch off finishes. That's why I'm doing a matte blush. But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes if I'm feeling extra glowy and I want that super pretty like springy summery kind of glow, I'll take my Summer Love by Ciate and I'll actually layer a little bit of this over top. It is very extra. It's only if I want like super glowing cheeks. And I've been loving this new Hailey's Beauty oh god, I just said that 5 times. Hailey's Beauty brush. A lot of B words there. And I've been into this super blushed look lately. I know it's kind of like going around, and I'll kind of start it like pretty far back, much further back than I've brought it in the past. Oh my god, I love this shade. And then I'll kind of bring whatever's left over and take it in a bit, kind of more on the apples of my cheeks.
I use my Maybelline Fit Me blush. This is one of my favorites. It's actually my only drugstore blush that I own, but it's in the shade Pink Rose, and it's such a good one. It will not fail you. But I used her same technique. I brought it all over and in.
Last step for the face is setting spray. And for me, setting sprays aren't just about making your makeup stay on longer, because honestly I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 that really actually help your makeup stay on longer. One that I'm going to use today is one of those. I do think the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix does make your makeup stay on longer. It's one of the rare ones that I think does. But the main reason I like to use setting sprays is for the finish of your foundation. You can completely alter the finish of your foundation with setting spray, but it also just melts all those powder products together, and it can really just help with the final look of your base. If you want a drugstore option, the Wet n Wild original setting spray, which I can't find anywhere now. I don't know if they discontinued it. That one's my favorite. Right now I've only been able to find the natural finish one, which I do still like. It's just definitely way more dewy than the original finish, but I do think this one also helps.
Okay, I don't have that fancy setting spray, but I'm going to use the Milani Make It Last. Actually, I already used the Milani Make It Last. Now I gotta let it dry. I mean, she looks absolutely stunning. There are so many amazing takeaways from this routine. I'm definitely going to keep using that 2 primer step system, that dry sponge, especially with matte foundation. That is such a good little hack, is the dry sponge. So yeah, we're gonna see how it wears for me today though, but if you enjoyed this video, definitely don't forget to like and comment, and then I'll have Taylor's video linked down below as well so you can watch that one for future reference as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.